What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video of Barbecue with Barry. And today we are doing beer can chicken, but save your beer for drinking because we're using Dr. Pepper. Let's get started. All right, so I got here today about a 4.5, 5 pound chicken from Sam's Club. Pretty simple cook on this one. Basically, we're just going to take this out of the wrapper, get it seasoned up. We're going to be using Meat Church's Holy Voodoo. I really like this seasoning on chicken wings, chicken. So this will work really well with this. And then I think the kind of cherry-ish flavor of the Dr. Pepper, we'll see if that comes through into the cook. I've never used the Dr. Pepper before. I've always used beer, but I did another video on beer can chicken. Some people were commenting, what if you don't drink beer or don't drink beer anymore? What are some other alternatives that you could use? And Dr. Pepper seems like a great alternative. It goes really well with pulled pork. So I figured I'd give it a try with this chicken. So let's get right into it. We're gonna cut this open, get this patted dry, and start seasoning it up. All right, we got our chicken taken out of the package. I'm just gonna go ahead, pat this dry. Not really much trimming that we'll need to do on this. There's probably some little extra fat back here that we could possibly trim off this. But other than that, not much trimming. You don't have to trim that if you don't want to. It's not gonna really affect the cook much, but just for a little bit better presentation at the end, we'll go ahead and trim that excess off. Now, I also like using a pan when I'm doing this. It just helps keep the can standing up a little bit straighter, a little bit easier. And then also all those juices that come out of the chicken will kind of be caught in the pan and just make for easier cleanup on your smoker when your cook's finished. All right, like I said, I'll go ahead, do a little bit of light trimming on here. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead, get this thing seasoned up. A little trick I like to do is hold the chicken from inside it, and then you can use your other hand to season, turn it however you need to make sure you kind of get all the seasoning on there. Go ahead, get this thing seasoned up. Give that a little pat. Get some seasoning inside that cavity. All right, now we'll go ahead, let that seasoning sit on here and adhere for a little bit. Then we'll come back and get it loaded up onto our Dr. Pepper can. All right, while we let this sit and let that seasoning adhere, let's go ahead and get the smoker fired up. All right, now that we got our smoker fired up to 275 degrees, our seasoning has adhered to our chicken here. Let's go ahead, open up our Dr. Pepper. Now, this isn't cold right out of the freezer. This has been sitting on the counter for probably 6-7 hours, so it's kind of like lukewarm. Not hot, but also not straight out of the fridge. So I'm gonna dump about half of this out. Should be good. And now, as you probably saw, if you saw my beer can chicken video, basically what we're gonna just do is stand this chicken up and insert the can right into the cavity of this chicken. All right, now that we got our chicken stood up on the can, we did have a little bit of a spill, but that's all right. I'm gonna go ahead, add some more seasoning kind of on top of here just from touching the chicken. Some of the seasoning came off. So, all right, as you can see, I also kind of spread the legs out here. That really just helps with kind of balancing the chicken out. As you saw, kind of spilled the Dr. Pepper a little bit. That's all right, not a big deal. If anything, maybe it'll marinate inside of the chicken a little bit. Don't think so, but it's not a big deal either way. But yeah, spreading those legs out a little bit helps it to balance a little bit better on here. So smoker's fired up to 275 degrees. Let's go ahead, get this thing on and get this cook started. All right, our chicken is on. Go ahead, let it sit on here for a couple hours. Come back and check it in a little bit. All right, our chicken has been cooking for right around an hour and a half at 275 degrees. Let's go ahead, take a look, get a temp reading, see where she's at. 125 in the leg there. About 102 in the breast. Go ahead, shut this thing down and let it keep cooking. All right, our chicken has been on for right around 2.5 hours. Looking really good. Go ahead. I cranked the temperature up to 325 degrees, where it'll be for the rest of the cook. I just checked that breast. It was right around 140 degrees. So we will go ahead, let this thing keep on cooking. All right, our chicken is getting really close to being done. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just baste it with some butter and some of the seasoning that we used to season the chicken with. All right, so our chicken is done. So we're going to go ahead, take this thing off and let it rest and come down in temperature. All right, so I just took the chicken off the grill. Going to go ahead and let it cool here for a little bit. Let it come down at internal temperature before I slice into it and we see how we did. See if the Dr. Pepper lives up to being better than using a beer in there. That only time will tell with that. So let's do a little recap of our cook here today. So we took our chicken out, patted it dry, got it seasoned up with Holy Voodoo from Meat Church. Let that seasoning adhere. Went outside, fired up the smoker to 275 degrees. Once that seasoning was adhered, we put it on the smoker where it sat on there for right around 2.5 hours. At that 2.5 hour mark, we cranked the temperature up to 325 degrees. Once I was reading like around 155, 158 in the breast, I made up some butter to baste it with. Butter, just melted butter and the Holy Voodoo seasoning. We basted that on there while we let it finish cooking until we got 165 degrees internal in the breast. We took it off, we're letting it rest, and now let's see how we did. All right, our chicken has been resting for a little while now. Honestly, probably not as long as it should, but I'm hungry. I'm trying to slice into this, see how we did. Let's go ahead, dig in, and see how we did. Take a little piece off the breast here with that skin. I got to show you how juicy this thing is before I take this bite. I mean, this is just insane. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead, dig in and try this. That is just so good. That skin has like a nice crisp to it, similar to the crispiness that I normally get on the smoker when doing chicken wings, but that is just absolutely awesome. This Holy Voodoo seasoning got a little bit of kick to it, but it is really, really good. That butter kind of tones it down that we basted with at the end there. Honestly, I can't really taste too much of the Dr. Pepper flavor, so if you want to save yourself a beer and just use a Dr. Pepper, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to use whatever's available. At the end of the day, either one works, whichever one you want to go for. I'm going to go ahead, cut off this wing, and give this a try. Can't go wrong with a nice chicken wing. Mm. Oh, this is so good. Mm. Don't mind if I do. Gotta get that skin. I'm gonna go ahead and keep eating this, but for the sake of the video, we're gonna go ahead, turn off the video. I'm ready to eat. I'm gonna finish slicing this thing up. This is absolutely awesome. I really love that Holy Voodoo seasoning. It's got a little bit of kick to it, which I really like. Last time I did chicken, I used the Chickalicka Bam Bam rub, which has a little bit more heat than this, but still really, really good. This came out absolutely awesome. Done in right around 3.5 hours, a little less than 3.5 hours. So something that's pretty quick, easy to make. Of course, you could, bump the temps up and have it done sooner. That's all up to you. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, sorry about the lighting. My face might be a little bit dark. My light that was over here broke, so I'm going to be ordering a new one here pretty soon. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.